custom the link. Cover the back of the lie. Front cover magazine. Cover your eyes. Cut it up back of the V. Yeah, our chemistry. Just like the trappers and fiends. My misery. Really ain't nothing to see. I gotta travel a V.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? If you've seen by the title of this video, I'm gonna get a new car today. I'm flying to Florida in about an hour. This has been like a super last minute thing, but I want to kind of explain where the fuck this is coming from so it doesn't just seem super out of the blue. Ew, that was covered in slobber. My truck, there's been this whole stupid backstory of my truck, but basically I spent a bunch of money to fix some stuff on it, and then like 2 days after I got it back, a lady ran into me and fucked it up. I had to wait for her insurance to pay me out for that so that I could fix the damages and list the thing for sale, and it's been for sale for a little bit, and finally it's sold. But the guy brought me money, he gave me a deposit when he came and looked at the truck, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back on Friday and give you the rest of the money. And he did not, and I had a flight booked today for Monday, and so his communication skills were not very good, and he basically was just stalling because he didn't have the money. Thankfully, he did actually show up this morning with the cash so that I can go buy my new car and not cancel my flight.
Hell yeah!
I'm flying down to Florida with a bunch of cash to go buy a car that is imported from Japan. I'm very excited about it, and for those of you guys that are probably confused, I don't need the truck anymore because I'm not planning to vendor at events. Yes, I do need a truck to like tow my car, but my car's not going to be done for quite a while. I don't know if you guys have realized that or not. So I don't need the truck right now, and I definitely don't need the expense of a truck. And so I started looking around for other alternatives. I was like, okay, let me sell the truck, let me pay off some debt, and go buy like a cheap daily. Well, I started looking around for cheap dailies, and the market right now for used cars is fucking insane. I thought about buying another LS400 because I know the platform really well. They're super reliable, they're great cars, and I honestly miss when mine was bone stock. And you know, $4,000 or $5,000 I thought would get you a nice one. Well, after looking around, that's not really doable anymore. $4,000 or $5,000 gets you like really shitty LS400s with tons of miles and ripped up seats and probably owned by a 16-year-old. And so I started looking around elsewhere and realized that buying a car that's imported from Japan is going to have way lower miles, not cost that much more, have way cooler options, and if I decide to sell it a few months later, I can. If I decide to turn it into a project, it's way cooler than having a shitty LS400. So yes, I'm going to buy an import.
What do you reckon?
Did she just say she knew Paul?
She doesn't know him.
She don't know fucking Paul.
You've never fucking met him.
You've never met Paul. She's so gentle. She's so gentle. Give me the... You...
So, I just landed in Orlando. This is something that I've been planning for quite a while, a couple of months actually, but I'm about to link up with the homie Logan, and some of you guys may know him, some of you guys may not. If you don't know him, hopefully by this video you will. But Logan is another homie who has an LS. He's doing a crazy build with his, a little bit different than mine, but I'll get to show it to you guys in this video a little bit. But conveniently, he is just now getting into the import business, which just makes sense for me to support another homie who's big into LS stuff, has a YouTube channel, and is also importing cars. Super thankful to Logan for holding on to this specific car that I'm picking up for a couple of months for me. He could have sold it a while ago. I'm sure he could have used the money for inventory. So I really appreciate him for holding on to it for me. And I've had to wait around for everything with the truck to get sorted out, which has just been a giant pain in the ass. But thank you, Logan, for holding on to this. He's about to pick me up, and then we'll see what the rest of the day has in store, and I will show you guys the car at some point.
Welcome to Florida, my man.
All right. How was the flight?
you know, it's a flight.
There we go. Well, now you're in Florida. It was very hot earlier today, but it's cooled down. You brought the
You brought the
Tennessee with you, the weather with you. So we are here, and I'm excited. I hope you're excited.
Yeah, I'm super pumped.
We're here.
And look at this thing. Boy. Just made it over here to Logan's house. Now I mentioned a car. What I didn't mention is 2 cars. No, I'm not buying 2 cars, but I do have the option to pick between 2 cars. And both the same price. They're both big body V8 sedans. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna buy though. I'm really not sure. So I'm gonna take them both out, check them out, and we'll see. Taking the first car for a drive. Very excited. I've been through looking at all the little quirks and features, as Doug DeMiro would say. This thing is quiet. Between driving my LS and the truck, I've not been in anything this quiet in a long time. Where am I going, by the way? Because I don't know where the fuck I am.
Just go straight.
Is it weird that this is more boaty than the LS was when it stocked?
You know
Like,
what?
it literally, I'm on a fucking cloud right now.
Both of our LSs were not air suspension, so I don't know if that has to do with it.
That's probably a good point. Feels nimble because I've driven nothing but like piles of shit forever. Should I take it right?
Yeah.
I gotta turn the right music up. It's a fucking vibe right here, dude.
For being almost 30 years old.
I'm not gonna tell you guys what car this is. If you can figure it out, post in the comments. But this is a 30-year-old vehicle, and it has more technology in it than like most cars now. Yeah, like my LS400 is a 2000 model, and it was way ahead of its time for 2000 being a US car. Not even close to the amount of shit that this thing has in it. And this isn't even like a top spec. Is this a base model?
I think it's second up.
Right or left?
Left.
That is so cool. Oh yeah, boy. I'm not gonna lie, it feels kind of quick.
Not bad.
It doesn't hesitate.
Little bump right here.
For that being like a really bad bump.
I have to slow down and go like, even in my truck I slow down just because it eats it.
It feels fucking great. Like there's no slack in the steering at all. And I can see it's got fender markers on it. Like that gives you really good depth perception. I guess that's why they have those.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you flew all the way out here, right? But
yeah, you know, I just dude, imagine I just fly out here, hype everybody up, and then just go home with nothing. All right, so between testing the 2 cars, I'm gonna show you Logan's car. So for any of you guys that obviously love my LS400, if you're looking for more LS400 content, may or may not already know Logan, but if you don't, this will be a great introduction.
It's a 99 LS400. I am second owner, but looking at it, you would think I'm like 50th owner. I got it off of a girl I knew in high school, and her dad bought it brand new. It sat under a barn for years and years, and I went over one day and was like, I want to buy it. I have 900 cash, and he's like, okay. So that's how I ended up with this. I always wanted to get into like a Bipu style car, just a giant car, big camber, and just drag its nuts. So that's how we got here.
Here it is.
I have the corner light. It is very common. I have tape on the other headlight. But this car has definitely been more of a lot of the stuff you can't see, I wanted to get done first. Yeah. I have plans on painting it. The headlights, I've redone them before. They re-yellowed. All the tabs on them are broken.
Honestly, you don't have to explain too much because I think my car is in a worse state right now. So
no way.
I think people get it. I think people get it.
Look.
I mean, what is that from, by the way?
So we'll show you guys the raised floor.
Okay, I just remember what that was from.
But yeah, I caught a giant water unit thing driving down the street, and because I raised my frame and floor and everything, I have the stock amp that usually goes under the seat just sitting there. And so when I hit it, shout out Boy Rob, he was behind me and said that he saw the entire underside of my car. Like that's how high I went up, and my amp ended up going boom and broke that. So
That's ridiculous.
I want to show this car because it kind of shows some of the differences between styles and like approaches you can take to the same platform. My car, you guys know it, it's on 19s, high radius, big aero. It's more of a traditional VIP route, but this is something that has been getting bigger over in Japan. I would class it more in the Onicon section. I don't know how you feel about that personally. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to fall into a category, but if you have, like, if you gotta describe it, then
that's the goal. There's definitely a lot more that I could do to make it, you know, full Onicon, but it's a process.
Key differences are you're on 18s,
Correct. 18s.
and stock aero, which most people don't realize. To get the stock front bumper on the ground takes quite a bit of work because this sits up higher than most. Quite a bit of work. You literally cut the floor out of this and raised it.
Yeah, shortened front subframe, raised engine and trans. I still have to shorten the oil pan and oil pickup, and then go lower. So we got a still tub and tube the front, and then we are taking off these, I call them cheater. On the LS, I mean, other cars, they make them look like you're a lot lower. Basically, it is the pinch well guard. When you take them off, it really doesn't hang down any, as you know.
You've cut and shortened these, right?
No, these
Or
are
you just dragged them away?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because these sit up fairly high. Like, I have skirts. My car definitely sits like 1 inch to 2 inches higher than this at least. Like, if you guys look at my kit, like, obviously I built the skirts. This comes down and out and down a lot further than this. Like that, that's crazy. But yeah, the main thing is the floor. For any of you guys that are interested, that, you know, he's got a whole video series on this car, just like I have, cutting the floor out of this, raising it up, welding all of this stuff back in. Really, really sick stuff, and this is the kind of shit that it takes to get this kind of look.
Yeah, that's it. I got back seats. I ended up, you know, for safety, I threw some plain seat belts in here. We got 2 of those for all the passengers that ride with. And then I guess if you come over here, we'll tell them, of course, it's all bulged up in the middle. That's where I caught the giant water marker thing.
Holy shit, right here?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I mean, the entire car just flew in the air, but that's actually usually where I have my lawn chair. So that's where the passengers ride when we're in Mexico, of course, or Japan, I guess. Yeah, floors raised, basically structured everything. These are all the fuel and brake lines. Ran those through the car. All harnesses are tucked and through the firewall, basically. But as hard as a hit as this was, it didn't twist anything else. Took a bunch of measurements. I am going to be redoing this. As bad as this hit is, it kind of proved to me like how strong that we actually did this floor and stuff.
Yeah, it can take it.
Yeah, so that's really what I'm hyped about. I'm gonna keep going with this LS and make this, you know, really what I want. But there is some other builds that I want to try and do this stuff. But you know, you learn a lot, and there's some stuff that I definitely would fix and do differently. But
no, this is crazy, and it just kind of shows, you know, polar opposite of the direction I went with mine. It's my car has stock proportions, and this is very much like lower than it should be, shortened everything, raised. It's pretty crazy. And
hold on, I'll show you my gas.
The paint is almost got that rat road looking now.
Yeah, I bought it with 0 clear coat, so that's kind of why I've not really cared about paint. Everybody's like, wash it, wash it, wash it. I still wash it every once in a while, but half of this stuff is like, yeah, it's like, I mean, I hate to say the word mold, because like, I guess it's not really mold, but like, there's no getting rid of that unless like you do some, I don't know, I'm not a detail guy, but here, we got the
I think you need sandpaper for that, not detailing stuff.
Yeah, need to just strip it down. But yeah, gas tank here, good old ratchet strap holding her in, and then took the.
Now you have plans to do a cell.
Yeah. I want to do a cell, get rid of all of the like spare tire area. Giant frame rails run right here, so you know, drop a fat plate in it, do like a drop-in cell. I've actually got all the cell stuff in the truck. I just have been focusing on, you know,
The import
these
stuff.
cars. Yeah.
Driving the next car. We got the classic music on still, although it's kind of just some bullshit right now. The AC in both of the cars is like ridiculously good, which is insane to me. Definitely doesn't feel as tight as the other one. Suspension ride's stiffer in this one.
Yeah.
It's not as floaty, which is interesting, seeing as they're both like basically competitor cars.
But this one's not air, so that's what.
Is it not? That's what it is. What year is this?
96.
96. Okay, so this thing's 3 years newer.
Correct.
I guess the air suspension makes a hell of a difference.
This has less body roll, which I kind of like more.
Yeah,
but
this is probably less boaty. It
smells like Japan.
it stinks of cigarettes. And, I'm just kidding, it doesn't. The exterior color is also purple, which is kind of sick. Oh, it definitely feels faster. Honestly, that
What was that?
expecting
What kilometers?
I wasn't. Maybe 100, maybe 90.
That's about 60.
They're pretty impressive cars for how old they are, how big they are, and how heavy they are. But I mean, you don't buy it because you want to fucking rip on it. Well, without revealing what the cars are to you guys, I want you guys to like post in the comments and let me know which you would prefer. One of them is white, silver two-tone. One of them's purple.
Purple.
Is it left here?
Oh yes.
Oh, that's the nope. Fucked up already.
It's your wipers.
Wasn't me. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a hard decision.
Purple or white?
They're both really, really nice cars. This one is newer. The other one is smoother.
Engine displacement's the same. Both
Pretty much,
V8s.
yeah. Both V8 rear-wheel drive luxury sedans. Similar generation. I don't know. This is kind of battle of the brands for me. It's the choice between two brands. I'm kind of already made up in my head as to what I want.
Well, and one car versus the other is one's more following than the other, definitely. More people have this car and dump it, and you don't like you see this.
That's true. Yeah, one of them is kind of an unorthodox platform. One of them is like a very, very common platform. It's just the JDM version of it. Shit. But they're both the same price, and that's what makes it tempting.
Yeah, you're not
Like-
weighing like, should I spend this much more for this?
Yeah, like one of them has a lot more aftermarket support, like readily available in the US. One of them has none. I mean, I do like a challenge. I'm not gonna lie. Like literally any of them. This is the one thing that like with this video I want you guys to know. Like right now, it makes more sense to go and buy one of these 90s V8 luxury sedans from Japan than it does to buy like a fucking Honda Civic. Like they're as affordable as buying cheap Econobox cars here in the US, and they have so many features. They're super reliable and they're super nice to drive. And if you guys are interested in getting a vehicle or importing it, Logan's the guy to go through, because this has been such a fun experience coming down here for this. But
And the nice thing about imports is you're usually getting way less miles and way better taken care of.
oh yeah, that's the big thing. Like people in Japan are like super anal about their cars, and they don't like high mileage over there, I guess. You're gonna buy a vehicle that has low miles, and even one with high miles over there is considered low miles here. For the price that you would pay for like, I don't know, a fucking, what generation Civic would be in this price range? 9th generation Civic?
Probably.
Yeah, probably like a 9th generation Civic. You could get a rear-wheel drive V8 sedan that has every feature possible, is super reliable, and like no miles on it. It's a time capsule. Why the fuck would you choose a Civic? So, I've made my decision. I know what car I'm taking home with me. I'm going to show you guys which car I did not buy. So if it's still available when you see this video, you can hit up Logan and maybe grab it for yourself. It is very nice. It's just I know exactly what car I want. Here it is. This is the car that I am not buying. This is a Y33 Nissan SEMA. It is the same as a US Q45, although it has tons more features and accessories and really cool. This is like a dark blue kind of purple color. It's really, really sick. A couple little blemishes and stuff on the exterior, but any car that's always going to have that. Really, really sick inside. But yeah, like I said, this is the car that I am not buying. So there it is. Back here now, I'm about to begin my journey home. I'll pass off to Logan so he can talk a little bit about some importation stuff and kind of what he's able to offer you guys.
What's up? Yeah, so recently started a company, OZ Imports, O.Z. Imports. You can check it out on Instagram, like 1,000 followers. I think I have like 12 posts or so. Brought over decent amount of cars, hooked up actually a lot of friends, which I've been super thankful that a lot of my friends are selling their cars and helping me out with business. But I do customer orders. I try to stay away from customer orders on a lot of the generalized cars. Maybe if you have a specialty vehicle, high-end vehicle, expensive vehicle, that's really kind of what I'm tailoring towards. But I am keeping inventory here in Orlando, so I'm posting on the Instagram, posting on my personal, as well as every time I pick up a vehicle, I usually run through it on my YouTube channel. Really can get you almost anything. Try to keep super fair prices. If you bring me a car, or you tell me what you're looking for, or you compare it to maybe something else that somebody else is selling, then I try to stay around that budget or a little bit less, you know, because my thing is I'd rather help, is, you know, trying to bring some of the Japanese car culture here. I know a lot of people are interested in imports, so at least while everything's getting real expensive,
Yeah,
like try to keep it
specifically, you know, these big body cars.
Really,
90s
really.
luxury sedans it's such a good market because they're really cheap.
And there are some very underrated vehicles, especially if you want to go big body. There are definitely some cool cars that come, you know, 1J, 2J that are super slept on, stock from factory, as well as cars that are compatible with cars in the States, so easy to get parts, and then also some of the probably more rare cars or cars that are a little bit more sought after that you either have to kind of interchange stateside parts or actually get parts from Japan. So a little bit of everything. Feel free to hit me up in the DMs. I'm still, you know, college student and doing all this stuff too, so please, if I don't get back to you within a day or so, either shoot me another message or, you know, I look a couple times a week. So yeah, that is it.
But yeah, guys, this was a fun trip, and I apologize that I've not shown you the car that I bought in today's video. It's going to be in tomorrow's video. Super excited about this car, and I'll reveal that tomorrow. But we'll talk all about that, plans for it, what's going on, blah, 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 in that video. And if you guys want to go grab some of the merchandise, we've got a drop that is live right now, only until March 7th. We're not making any of this stuff again, so go grab it now while you can. And yeah, new videos coming soon. We'll see you in another video.